In this video, we are going to be talking about Alibaba's newly released model called the QWQ 32 billion parameter model. The QWQ 32 billion parameter model is a new reasoning model with only 32 billion parameters that is rivaling up against the cutting-edge reasoning model like DeepSeek R1, which is a 671 billion parameter model. And you may be wondering, how is that even possible? A 32 billion model outcompeting a 671 billion parameter model? Well, this is possible all thanks to the reinforcement learning. Alibaba's QWQ 32 billion model is achieving high performance by leveraging scaling reinforcement learning, and this is to overall enhance the reasoning beyond the traditional pre-training and post-training methods. There's actually three key advancements to this. You first have the reinforcement learning optimization, where you have the reinforcement learning significantly boosting the reasoning capabilities, making the smaller models more intelligent. And this is the case with this model. Secondly, you have the foundation model pre-training, which is built on extensive world knowledge, and it is ensuring a strong base for reasoning. And lastly, you have the agent-like capabilities, where this model can think critically, use tools, and adapt to its reasoning based on the environmental feedback. So these are the three key advancements that make this model powerful. And the best part about this is that it is completely open source and open weight and is available on Hugging Face and ModelScope under the Apache 2.0 license, and is also accessible via the QuenChat. Moreover, you can also download it locally using Ollama or LM Studio. If you want to download it using Ollama, you simply have to go to ollama.com, and then inside the search bar you have to type the model name. So here you will get the model card for the QWQ, which is the reasoning model of the Qwen series, and you simply have to copy this command that says Ollama run QWQ and run it on your terminal in order to install it locally. If you talk about the performance of this model, then it is evaluated across a range of benchmarks designed to assess its mathematical reasoning, coding proficiency, and general problem-solving capabilities. So you can see that in case of AIME24, the performance of QWQ 32 billion parameter is really close to the DeepSeek R1. In case of LiveBench, it is better than DeepSeek R1. Same is the case for IFEVAL, and same is the case for the BFCL. So now let's go ahead and test it out, and I'm gonna use the QuenChat for it. So after signing in to the QuenChat, this is how the interface is gonna look like. And just like you can select the model from the ChatGPT, you can do that too. Right here inside the QuenChat, you simply have to click on this drop down menu, and these are all the available options. Out of all of these options, you have to select the QWQ 32 billion, which is capable of thinking and reasoning. So here I've listed down a bunch of questions for testing the QWQ 32 billion model. These questions range from the knowledge of mathematics to logical reasoning and programming questions. So let's see how the model performs. So firstly, I'm gonna ask it, if a pizza is sliced into 8 equal parts and you eat 3, what fraction of the pizza is left? Let's go ahead and run this. And you can see that it has started thinking and is going to the answer in order to provide us the response. So after doing a lot of thinking, it says that the pizza is divided into 8 equal parts. After slicing, the number of remaining slices is 8 minus 3, 5. And since slice represents 1/8 of the pizza, so the fraction remaining is 5/8, which is absolutely correct. So I'm gonna give it a pass. Next, a farmer has 17 sheep and all but 9 run away. How many sheep does he have left? Let's go ahead and run this. And you can see once again it is thinking, because it is a thinking and reasoning model. And after doing a whole lot of thinking, it says that the farmer has 9 sheep left, because the phrase all but 9 run away means that every sheep except the 9 escapes, and this is absolutely correct. So I'm gonna give it a pass. Next, if a car travels at 60 miles per hour for 2 hours, then 80 miles per hour for another 3 hours, what is the average speed for the entire trip? Let's go ahead and run this prompt. Once again, it is doing a whole lot of thinking. And here is the response. So let's quickly go through the answer. It says that to determine the average speed for the entire trip, we need to calculate the total distance traveled and the total time taken. So for the firstly, we need to calculate the distance covered during each part of the trip. For the first part, the car traveled at 60 miles per hour for 2 hours. So this is the total distance. Then this is the second distance. In order to calculate the total distance, we are going to add the two distances, which is the total of 360 miles. Then we are going to calculate the total time taken. The first part took 2 hours, the second part took 3 hours, so total of 5 hours were taken. So the average speed is the total distance divided by the total time. So 360 over 5 brings us to the answer 72 miles per hour, which is absolutely correct. So I'm gonna give it a pass. So these were the 3 questions for testing out its mathematical knowledge, and it has managed to answer all of these questions correctly. Now I'm gonna test it out on the basis of some logical reasoning questions. So the first question is, a rooster lays an egg on top of a sloped roof, and which way does it roll? Let's see if it is able to answer it correctly or not. So I'm gonna paste the question right here, and let's go ahead and run this. You can view all the thinking which it is doing to bring us to the correct answer. And we have the final answer. The egg doesn't roll because the roosters don't lay eggs. And this is absolutely correct. And if you want to view the explanation, here is an explanation too. The answer to the riddle is that the egg doesn't roll because the roosters do not lay eggs, and it is biological impossibility. And here is some other explanation for the answer as well. So I'm gonna give this one a pass. Next, we have a question that says, a man looks at a picture and says, brothers and sisters, I have none, but this man's father is my father's son. Who is in the picture? Let's see if it is able to answer this technical question or not. So let's go ahead and run this. So once again, it is thinking and thinking and thinking. Okay, so here is the final answer, that the man in the picture is the speaker's son. And here it is also provided as an explanation that the speaker says that they have no brothers or sisters, meaning that they are their father's only child. The phrase, this man's father is my father's son, breaks down as follows. My father's son refers to the speaker themselves. Therefore, this man's father must be the speaker. And this means that the man in the picture is the speaker's son. And the answer is absolutely correct along with the explanation. So for this question, I'm gonna give it a pass as well. Next question is, you are in a dark room with only one match and there is a candle, a gas lamp and a wood stove. Which do you light first? This is a question for the common sense. Let's see if the model has it or not. So once again, it is taking time to think on the question. And after doing a whole lot of thinking, it has provided us that the correct answer is the candle and has provided us the reasoning. But the answer is wrong because the first thing that you need to lit is the match itself. Because after lighting the match, only then you will be able to light all the other items. So this answer is wrong. And for this question, I'm gonna mark it as fail. Next, we have a question that says, how many different ways can you arrange the letters in the word math? And this question is a mixture of logical reasoning as well as mathematical knowledge. So let's see if it is able to answer this correctly or not. So once you run it, once again, it will start thinking on the question to bring us to the correct answer. Alright, so the response is generated. Let's quickly view it. It says that the word math consists of 4 distinct letters. To determine the number of different ways to arrange these letters, we use the formula for permutations for the distinct object, which is n factorial, where n is the number of objects. So here n is 4. So we are going to calculate the factorial of 4, which brings us to the answer 24. That is absolutely correct. So for this question, I'm going to give it a pass. Next, we have a question to find out the next number in the sequence. Here it says, what is the next number in the sequence? 2, 6, 12, 20 and 30. And let's see if it is able to find the next number in the sequence or not. So for this basic question too, once again, it is going to perform a lot of thinking because it works on reinforcement learning. So after doing a whole lot of thinking, it has provided us the answer. Let's quickly go through it. Even though the answer should be a single one-line answer, but it has provided us a whole bunch of explanation. Let's see it. To find the next number in the sequence, we start by examining the difference between the consecutive numbers. So firstly, the difference between 6 and 2 is 4. Then we have the difference to be 6. Then we have 8 and 10. So the differences are 4, 6, 8 and 10, which forms an arithmetic sequence increasing by 2 each time. So the next difference should be 10 plus 2 equal to 12. Adding it to the last term, 30 plus 12 is 42. And here we also observe that each term can be expressed as n into n plus 1, where n is the term number, 1 into 2, 2 into 3, 3 into 4, 4 into 5, 5 into 6, which brings us to the next term, 6 into 7, 42. So the answer is the next number in the sequence is 42, which is absolutely correct. So I'm gonna mark this one a pass as well. Next, I have a coding question that says the following code is supposed to reverse a string, but it doesn't work. Fix it. So here is the function, which is the reverse string. It takes a string as an input and returns the string. So it says that the function is supposed to reverse a string, but it doesn't work, so it needs to fix it. Let's see if the model can do that. So I'm gonna head to the Qwen chat paste the prompt right here along with the code and run it, and let's wait for it to see whether it is able to fix the code or not. Alright, so here is the response. Let's quickly view it. So here it says that the issue with the code is that it is passing an integer to the reverse string function, which expects a string. The slicing operation works on the strings but not on integers. So here is the fixed code. So here, instead of passing an integer value, it has converted it into a string in order for the function to work properly. And here is the explanation. Firstly, we have the function correctness. The function is correctly implemented to reverse a string using the slicing. Input issue, the error because this is an integer. And then the output is the correct output will print the string in the reverse order. But if you want the function to accept numbers and automatically treat them as strings, then you can modify the function to convert the input to a string first. This is another way of correcting the function. So instead of only binding it to take the integers, you can insert an integer in the function parameter as well. And then inside this function, firstly, we are going to convert the input into a string if it is not already in the string. And then we are going to use the slicing method in order to reverse it. And both of these implementations are absolutely correct. So for this question as well, I'm going to give it a pass. And then finally, we have the question that says generate an SVG for a butterfly. And let's see if it is able to do that or not. Alright, so the response is generated. Let's quickly go ahead and see it. So it says that here is a simple SVG representation for a butterfly. We have the code for the SVG along with all the different comments to explain what each line is generating. Then we have an explanation that there is a body which is a black rectangle centered at 100 with dimensions 20 into 60. Then we have the wings. The upper wings use gold with smooth curves. The lower wings use yellow extending further downwards. There are antennas, 2 black lines extending upwards from the top of the body, and then there is customization as well. So let's quickly go ahead and copy the code and let's test it out. Okay, so this is how the SVG code looks like once it is executed. It looks somewhat like a butterfly, but it is not entirely correct. So for this question, I'm gonna give it a fail. So you can see that I asked 10 questions from different domains to the QWQ 32 billion parameter model, and out of all these 10 questions, it managed to correctly answer 8 questions and failed to answer 2 questions. One was to generate the SVG code for the butterfly, and the other one was a logical reasoning question where it failed to answer it correctly. So overall, this is an amazing reasoning model capable of thinking and reasoning and can achieve significantly enhanced performance in downstream tasks. Moreover, it is able to achieve competitive performance against the state-of-the-art reasoning models like DeepSeek R1 and GPT-o1 Mini. So I highly encourage all of you to try it out for yourself and let me know in the comments what you think about it. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching.